David Berkowitz is a serial killer who in 1976 and 1977 killed 6 people and wounded many others in New York. Following his arrest, he was offered many book and movie deals, so a new law was created that prevented convicted criminals from financially profiting from their crimes, because murder should never be a career path for anyone. In this video, we will look at how Berkowitz, other serial killers and other notorious criminals have profited from their crimes. In David Berkowitz, the Son of Sam Law Explained. My name is Sheesh Merriweather and I'm the founder of Crime Viral Online, and today I'll be doing what I do best, which is talking about serial killers. But first, here is a treat for all you true crime fans. Magellan TV is a new type of documentary streaming membership founded by filmmakers. Their team of producers and curators brings together premium content that dives deep into important documentary subjects. Magellan TV has some of the best collections available in true crime, history, science, nature and space. There are so many great choices, it's hard to stop watching once you start. There are over 3,000 documentaries to choose from and new programs are added on a weekly basis. Even better, there's a growing selection of shows available in 4K without additional cost. You can watch Magellan TV on any device or connected TV. You can even cast from your phone to your TV. It's super easy to use. So check it out now, click the link below to get a full month free. Murder in Paradise is one of the best rated true crime documentaries on Magellan TV. In 2014, 2 British backpackers, David and Hannah, were murdered just yards from their hotel in Thailand. This documentary includes never-before-seen evidence and also questions whether this is still the travel destination from heaven or is it hell. Now let's get you back to the serial killers. During his murder spree, Berkowitz began sending letters to the media in New York City. He loved all of the press attention, especially now that he was becoming an infamous celebrity himself. In one of his letters, he wrote, "Please inform all of the detectives working the case that I wish them the best of luck. Upon my capture, I promise to buy all the guys working on the case a new pair of shoes if I can get up the money. Signed, Son of Sam." The police were under a lot of strain to catch the killer, who was still managing to evade capture at every turn, and the city was left terrified, wondering who his next victims would be. Berkowitz, meanwhile, was having a great time with his PR campaign that kept his serial killer nickname, Son of Sam, on the front pages of newspapers, even when there were no new killings to report on. Yet Berkowitz soon slipped up. He was using his own car registered to his own home address as the getaway vehicle. And when police checked parking tickets that had been issued the night of the murder, they were like, what's this Berkowitz guy doing 25 miles away from his home at 2:30 a.m? It wasn't long before they found their killer. And also, Berkowitz really must have hated parking ticket attendants at that point. He was later diagnosed with a psychopathic personality with malingering, meaning that he was faking a lot of his symptoms, such as spinning the elaborate story that he was possessed by a 3,000-year-old demon dog named Sam. Berkowitz explained that Son of Sam was in reference to his neighbor's black Labrador retriever who had commanded him to kill. The Labrador's real name was Harvey, and at one point Berkowitz even shot Harvey with a pistol, but the dog had miraculously survived. The story that he was possessed by a demon in canine form went on for many years, until FBI agents Robert Ressler and John Douglas went to visit the serial killer in prison. And when Berkowitz started talking about the dog demon, Douglas said, "Hey David, knock off the bullshit. The dog had nothing to do with it." And the serial killer nodded and laughed and said, "Yeah, you're right." The Son of Sam's story was all an elaborate lie. So then Harvey's name was finally cleared of any wrongdoing, and he was never involved in the murders. Rewinding back now to 1977, when Berkowitz was first arrested, the prison officials soon discovered that publishers and movie studios were in meetings with Berkowitz about selling the rights to his life story. The serial killer said that he never had an involvement in any of the money, it was all his lawyer's dirty work, But as we know now, he never really has been one for telling the truth. The courts already knew that Richard Speck, who tortured and murdered 8 student nurses from South Chicago Community Hospital in 1966, was earning $500 apiece for his paintings. And also that serial killer John Wayne Gacy's paintings were selling for crazy amounts of money, some even fetching up to $20,000 each at auction, which is shocking because his paintings were rubbish. And Henry Hill, who was a mobster turned FBI informant you'll very likely be familiar with as the basis of Martin Scorsese's The Goodfellas, was paid royalties of $96,000 for this book, Wise Guy. Also, cult leader Charles Manson received a cut of the profits for a $17 shirt with his face on and the caption, "Charlie Don't Surf." He received only 10 cents a shirt, but they sold a lot of shirts. Manson died in 2017 with an estimated net worth of $400,000. So in the 1960s and 70s, the murder memorabilia market was booming. Lawmakers had had enough, and for very good reason, they decided to introduce the Son of Sam law, which was designed to keep criminals from financially profiting from the publicity created by their crimes. Some people argue that the Son of Sam law was against the First Amendment that protects the freedom of speech, and financial incentives for criminals to tell their stories is crucial, as some of these stories are of vital interest to the general public. Then in 2007, O.J. Simpson accepted an offer of $600,000 for the book If I Did It. This book is a hypothetical description of the murders of his ex-wife and mother of his children, Nicole Brown, and her friend Ronald Goldman. Later, O.J. said he had not actually contributed to the book, rather the money was to say that he had contributed, when in fact it was written by a ghostwriter. His former manager advised him not to have any involvement in the book, but O.J. said, "Everyone thinks I'm a murderer anyway, they're not going to change their mind just because of a book." Within 4 days of the book being released, it was pulled from the shelves, as more than 50,000 people signed an online petition set up by the Goldman family titled "Don't Pay O.J." The book was then pulled from the shelves, and more than 400,000 copies were pulped. A judge ruled that Ronald Goldman's father would be awarded the rights to the book, and he would receive the royalties instead as a contribution to the $33.5 million wrongful death civil suit that the Goldman family had against Simpson. The Goldman family then republished the book in their own name. So that was David Berkowitz then, and this is David Berkowitz now. Despite not being able to financially benefit from selling his memoirs, Berkowitz still powered ahead with his first book, The Son of Hope, The Prison Journals of David Berkowitz, which was released in 2006. He had rebranded himself as Son of Hope, and he writes how God had done miraculous work on his life, and he praises the life-transforming power of the gospel. Berkowitz is currently still behind bars at maximum security prison in New York, and at the time we release this video, he is 67 years old. His most recent parole hearing in May 2020 could not go ahead due to the coronavirus pandemic, and he is currently awaiting a future date. He has previously been denied parole 15 times. Do you think Berkowitz is a changed man, or is he true evil hiding in plain sight? We would love to hear your opinions. Let us know in the comments below, and also don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for even more serial killer content.